I'm Margie Osmond, Chief Executive of the State Chamber of Commerce. The quality of tomorrow's workforce is a vital issue for the New South Wales business community. In order to make sure that students are work ready, we need to ensure that they have real workplace experiences. The Department of Education and Training's Work Placement program not only helps students build confidence, it equips them with the skills that they need that are going to increase their future employment opportunities. And it provides them with a better understanding of industry and the working environment. Work placement students leave school with an HSC plus a nationally recognised qualification that they can articulate into apprenticeships, traineeships or into further education and training at TAFE or with private providers. They can even choose to go on to university, as the course results also count towards the University Admissions Index. The program also has benefits for participating employers, developing awareness of their businesses amongst our youth, helping them to identify and retain local talent, and creating opportunities for their own staff to develop leadership skills and networks. This presentation will demonstrate how simple it is to make work placements work for both students and host employers. The success of the work placement program lies within the goodwill of schools, students and host employers adopting the best techniques and management strategies available. It's not complicated, and with a bit of know-how you can maximise the benefits both for you and for the student, a real win-win situation. The work placement program is really about maximising every workplace opportunity, ensuring the student has a rich, practical and really relevant workplace experience, while the employer benefits from the contribution of an enthusiastic and very hard-working student. Work placements differ from work experience in that students are actually studying in the relevant industry as part of their HSC and are seeking the opportunity to apply their developing industry-related skills as learnt in the classroom. In the Host Employers Toolkit, you'll find a range of the best tips, techniques and management strategies for really great work placements. It is simple, it does work, and it's a great way for employers to inject a little youthful enthusiasm and life into their workplace. I wish you all every success.
Work placement is targeted towards a diverse range of industry types that by and large caters to today's most sought-after occupations. All students participating in work placement are currently undergoing HSC studies for these industries. They include business services, construction, entertainment, hospitality, information technology, metal and engineering, primary industries, retail and tourism. We have the students, we have the HSC courses to suit a diverse range of individuals. We have work placement systems that work. The benefits of work placement to the employer include raising their profile within the community, providing employers with more understanding and involvement in education, developing the management skills and training of those employees who take on the role of workplace supervisors. Involvement in the program gives businesses access to a potential pool of skilled employees at a lower cost than traditional recruitment methods, providing an extra pair of hands on the job, and most importantly, expanding the pool of skilled entry-level talents available to your industry. Here's how easy it all works and how it can work for you. An employer wishing to take part in work placement will have contact with their local work placement coordinator and outline briefly the nature of their business and the kinds of opportunities they may be able to provide for participating students. Together, they define the criteria for matching suitable students with timeframes, essential skills, availabilities, and so forth. The host employer will receive support material well in advance of their students' arrival. These resources provide ideas and suggestions that can help guide the host employer step by step. To help overcome any concerns of being burdened by the job of trying to keep a student busy, the Work Placement Made Easy material includes sample tasks for your industry and ideas on how your staff can identify suitable jobs and a variety of interesting experiences. This, along with all the other tips and samples supplied, helps ensure that the placement gets off to a great start, so the rest of the week can be effectively burden-free. Now all is prepared, let's see what happens when our work placement student arrives on day one. Again, there's no need for this to be hard work, as it's all set out in your work placement support material. The meet and greet process is important, as it helps you size up the student's individual capabilities and set the tone for your working relationship for the week. Finally, as part of this process, and I quote one of the tips from the leaflets provided, explain they will be treated just like a new employee, only unpaid, as they're a student. In a worst-case scenario situation where the self-confidence of the student appears lacking, there are some tips provided on how the host employer may reassure and bolster the student's confidence. Most young people will display some form of shyness. However, this does not mean they lack genuine motivation. It is important that the student's induction reinforces that they are in the program for two fundamental reasons: to work and to learn. They have already been prepared at school for this, but when messages such as these are reinforced by real employers, the student's understanding rises to a new level. A work placement journal for each student is provided. Naturally, real work is preferred to the exercises in most of these work journals. But if the workload is a little light, the supervisor is busy, or the student's learning needs extra reinforcement, you will find extra value in the journals. Even though all work placement students have OHS training before they arrive, it is imperative that the student is advised on site of each new work placement's own safety issues and procedures. The student needs to be treated in most aspects as though they were a new employee. Naturally, they should not be allowed to participate in particularly dangerous or complex tasks. After all, most students are still young and relatively inexperienced. Perhaps the most common advice from experienced host employers is to ensure you take the time to devise a list of tasks you could have the student do before they arrive at the business. Now is the time to clearly define these to the student and allow them to discuss these expectations. The host employer should never underestimate the valuable contribution such a guest student can offer, and should, as much as possible, give ample opportunity to demonstrate the broadest range of skills possible within the structure of the workplace. As stated previously, the host employer work placement CD and leaflets come with tried and proven tip suggestions and samples that will cover every aspect of the student and host employer journey together, all simply written and easy to access along the way. What's more, the work placement coordinator and teacher are on call throughout the whole process for advice and assistance if ever the need arises. The rewards of work placement are many. Some will be evident to both student and host employer on each of the 5 days. Some won't bear fruit for years to come. But rest assured, the contribution by each and every host employer is very much appreciated by students, schools, parents, future employers, and the provider of this program. At the conclusion of the work placement program, it's also important for both student and host employer to assess the merits of their experience. Host employers are asked to fill in an evaluation sheet on the student. This is an ideal time for the host to encourage the student and also provide honest and constructive feedback of how the student can improve. The work placement CD and leaflets also provide tips on giving feedback and encourage you to offer advice on how the student could go about getting a start in your industry. Making work placement work has never been easier.
always had a policy of taking students, work placement students. It's been great. But we used to find it was quite ad hoc and we never really got into a routine. And then when we came across this program, we started using some of these sorts of ideas and these tips. It's really made a difference to us. We've got more organised, the students feel more comfortable. It's really worked well for us. It's a win-win for both parties. So yeah, we'd recommend it to everybody. It works great.
Well, over the past 4 years we've been involved with the training program. Basically I recommend the program to anybody. It's fantastic. It teaches the students exactly what goes on the work life outside of school, and it benefits the employer at the same time. You may end up with a fantastic apprentice at the end of the day.
I'd encourage all employers to participate in the work placement scheme because it not only benefits you, it benefits the community as well.
I would encourage your participation in work placements and investing in the future of our young people.